Hi, you're welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. The Lord laid it in my heart to reach out on this platform, but I have been delaying it, and I'm happy, I'm grateful that I'm here now. After the Spirit of the Lord warned me recently on procrastination, I decided right then that my first YouTube video is going to be on procrastination. I pray that it blesses you, and if you have been procrastinating, I hope this helps you. Procrastination is putting off a task by intentionally delaying it or giving excuse to do it later. Psychologists define procrastination as voluntarily delaying a course of action, not minding the negative effects of or negative consequences of such delays. Procrastination can happen in any aspect of our life. Procrastination starts from the simplest tasks of waking up in the morning to make our bed, tidying up our room, or snoozing the alarm, up to taking major decisions of our life, taking serious decisions that affect our lives. Procrastination is an unhealthy and dangerous habit. It's a weapon that the devil uses to derail us from a particular track of destiny. Procrastination causes stress and it can affect our mental health. It is less mentally demanding to start a task or embark on a project now and get it over with than delaying it and causing ourselves unnecessary stress in the brain. Procrastination can also affect a standard of living. Sometimes we need to develop ourselves to get a raise, a promotion from a place of work. Sometimes we might need to improve on our trade. Sometimes we might need to improve on our career. Sometimes we might need to improve on our expertise. And when we procrastinate, it affects our standard of living. Procrastination also affects students. It affects the grades. It affects and hurts their performances. I've seen a lot of first-class students who ended up graduating with a lower credit or even a pass because they procrastinate studying. We rather go for parties because it's fun, and we procrastinate doing our assignments, and we delay it to the day that the assignment is due, and we rush it over. There's not enough time to solve the particular problem. Sometimes we procrastinate studying for exam. We don't read for exam until maybe a night to the exam, and you don't have enough time to prepare, so it eventually affects our grade and our performance. Procrastination also can affect our relationships. Our relationship with our spouse, with our friends, family, loved ones. Sometimes when we delay on actions that we are supposed to do to enhance relationship, it hurts people around us and it affects the relationship that we have with people. Many times we even procrastinate on enhancing our relationship with God. We procrastinate our salvation. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 10 teaches us that salvation, judgment is going to be based on what we do, not on what we intend doing. Many people will go to hell because they procrastinated on their salvation. In Luke chapter 9, Jesus told a man to follow him. But the man said, I will do that later because now I need to bury my father. And Jesus said, why not let the dead bury itself? There is an acceptable time of salvation. Even the book of Isaiah says, we should look for God when it can be found. Seek God when he's near you. There are times that it is too late to be saved. Like the story of the foolish virgins. The 5 foolish virgins eventually came back to meet the groom. But it was too late. The groom was no longer available. The door was locked. Procrastination is a dream killer, and overcoming it is a way to better life and finding fulfillment. Following through is the difference between achievers and people who are dreamers. Now, why do we procrastinate? One of the first reason I'm going to look, the first reason why we procrastinate, the first reason I'm going to mention is a personality trait. Because the way God created us, we are wired in different ways. Some of us are, we are wired in different ways. For example, a perfectionist. For example, a perfectionist tends to procrastinate because a perfectionist is always looking for the best time, the best opportunity, best equipment to start a trade, best location, best this, best that. And because you are waiting for the best time, the perfect time, you tend to delay all the time. And the truth is, you can never find a perfect time. You can never do anything perfect until you start. It is when you start that you get better. It is when you get better that you get perfect. So you can never start anything perfectly. You have to just start. It is when you start that you get better and get perfect. Waiting for every detail to be perfect without error is a way of the devil deceiving you from achieving your destiny. It's a way of the devil delaying you from achieving your goals. Also, an impulsive person. An impulsive person reacts to the spur of the moment. They are impulsive, they do things, they do things immediately based on the spur of the moment. But after the moment has calmed down, or after that moment, they don't usually go back to that thing again. They don't usually improve on that thing again because they just reacted to impulse. They just reacted to the spur of the moment. Also, a sloppy person too tends to procrastinate because by nature, a sloppy person is negligent in duty. They forget things easily, they are careless. So they tend to procrastinate on when they decide to do a thing. Compared to a conscientious person is more disciplined, is firm, and is persistent. Once a conscientious person decides to do a thing, there is no stopping them because by nature, they are very, very disciplined. A person also with low esteem too tend to procrastinate because they're always afraid of doing their own thing. They're always afraid of creating their own niche. They care so much about the public opinion. They care so much about what people have to say to them. They believe that they're not good enough and that people will see their weakness. So they usually follow the trend. They want to do the things that is generally acceptable. They don't want to do their own thing because they're thinking, what if it's not good enough? What if the people will see my weakness? What if they laugh at me? They are not confident in themselves. They don't have self-confidence, they don't have self-sufficiency. So usually they procrastinate on doing their own things. They would rather follow the trend, they would rather follow the crowd, they would rather follow a friend or follow a colleague or follow a neighbor or follow somebody. But for them to start their own thing, they procrastinate. Aside personality things, and aside personality traits, another reason why we procrastinate is the nature of the task. For example, if the task is daunting, if the task or the project we want to embark on is difficult, if it's daunting, we tend to procrastinate because naturally an average man wants the easy way out of life. We want to have money without struggles. We like to prosper without doing too much. And so when a task or a project is particularly difficult, we tend to procrastinate, like developing ourselves, going further to school, starting masters. It's not something that is easy that you can just easily jump to. So we tend to procrastinate. A lot of people have been on furthering their education for years and they're still on it. And these things leads to frustration because when you see people that come to maybe they come to the career or they come to the work or they come to your office after you see them getting promoted, you see them getting, a better salary, a better raise, a better salary, and you feel frustrated, you even lose your job satisfaction. But it is because of the decisions that you have made in the past. So procrastination is very, very dangerous, even to our career, even to our standard of living. Also, if the goal of the task or the end goal or the end result of the project is vague, is not clear, is vague or not clear or not tangible, we tend to procrastinate because there's no drive, no momentum in embarking on the project or embarking on the task or embarking on a particular line of action. Also, laziness is another reason why we procrastinate. Forgetting Proverbs 13:4, it says that the soul of the sluggard will want and will get nothing. The soul of the soul of a lazy man will want and get nothing. But not minding that not minding the poverty that follows laziness, not minding the lack that follows laziness. People still procrastinate out of laziness. A lazy person will find it difficult to stand up even in the morning. A lazy person is prone to snoozing their alarm. Lazy people are prone to snoozing their alarm. They'll snooze their alarm, they can snooze it for the next 1 hour because it's just difficult for them to just stand up and wake up even in the morning. And another one is fear of the unknown. Out of fear of the unknown, fear of what we might encounter by starting this project, fear of what might happen if I start, or fear of what might come out of the task is one of the reasons why we also procrastinate. I remember somebody who refused going to the hospital because she was afraid of what the doctor might find out when she gets to the hospital. So she stayed home and she managed herself till it was too complicated, till it was too late for her to get any help. Or maybe fear of the unknown. If God is saying go somewhere and you don't even know what you're going to encounter when you get there, you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know how you're going to feed, you don't know how God is going to help you, to embark on the particular call that God has called you for. And because of that fear, many of us delay in starting. There are a lot of reasons why we procrastinate, and I know each different reason is, and I know each reason is personal to each and every one of us. And I know each reason is personal to each and every one of us. But then how do we overcome procrastination? Because overcoming it, like I said, is a way to better life and a way of finding fulfillment. So how do we overcome procrastination? The first one is understanding the dangers of procrastination. When you understand the dangers, what this will lead to, how this will negatively affect you. For example, if you understand that if you fail to develop yourself, you are going to be stunting your growth financially, or by the time you understand, if I don't do this, it's going to affect my relationship with my spouse, and you know the danger of not doing it. Knowing the danger is very, very important and crucial to how we rise to fight and tackle it. How is going to delay your destiny. David told his people in the book of Chronicles, he said, if we stay a little longer here, Absalom will meet us here and kill us all. So they knew that staying a little longer is dangerous to their life. So that was why they were able to make the decision to rise up and run and move, So you need to understand what is the disadvantage personally to you of postponing that or starting that particular project or embarking on that particular project. What is the danger to you personally? Then another way that we can overcome it is understanding the law of time. See, time does not wait, and time does not wait for anybody. The clock keeps ticking. You might delay, time will never delay. The clock will keep ticking. We need to understand the law of time. As Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it says that there is time for everything under the head. If we keep postponing, time will go. The Bible says that if we keep delaying, if we keep postponing, if we keep procrastinating, time will go. The Bible says time has gone. It said time of harvest is past. It says, and yet we are not saved. Meaning the time to be saved has passed. So it is too late to be saved. Many people will still find themselves in hellfire because of procrastination. No matter how much we try, no matter how much talented we are, or how rich we are, or how good we are, or how anointed we are, you can never bring back yesterday. 2019 is gone. It's gone forever. This is 2020. What you're supposed to do last year will affect what you're supposed to be this year. Esau eventually brought food, but it was too late. The father was no longer hungry. He had already given out the blessing. It was too late. He even got the message before Jacob, because his mother still had to go back to Jacob to lay the message to, but the brother still got there before him. He delayed just a little bit. And by the time he came back, it was too late. There are some opportunities that come only once. There are some opportunities that when it is gone, we might not have them again. When Jesus was in Jericho, Bartimaeus heard that Jesus was passing by, and immediately he knew that this is a great opportunity for him to receive his sight. Immediately he shouted for Jesus to hear his voice. And thank God for him that he took advantage of that opportunity. Because even after then, the Bible never recorded that Jesus went back to that road again. So there are some opportunities that when you lose, it might not come back. When the foolish virgin eventually came to meet the bridegroom. But when they came, it was too late. The door was already locked. Even the bridegroom said, I know you not. So there are times that it is too late. Now is the time for us to take action. There are some opportunities that might not come again. There are some businesses that if you don't start now, those that are supposed to help you finance the business might not do it again. There are some times that if you don't improve yourself to get that raise and the place of work now, you might not get it again because there might not be opportunity for you again. So it is always good for us to take decision and move on with it and follow through with it. And also, we need to understand why we personally procrastinate. You need to understand the reason why you procrastinate. Is it because you are looking for the perfect timing, or the time that you do, the time that you have a perfect detail? Why are you personally procrastinating? Is it because of laziness? Is it because of maybe lack of funds? Or maybe the no helpers, or maybe what the task is daunting, is difficult, or is it boring? Without knowing the reason why you procrastinate, you will not know how to tackle it. Without knowing the reason why you procrastinate, you will not know how to tackle it. Then another one is writing down your goals. You can write down your goals so that you keep reminding yourself. Like you can even have a to-do list and places where you'll be seeing it. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2. It says, write down the vision, write it plain. It says so that he who sees it will run with it. When you write your to-do list, you put it where you can see it. You know this is the goal of what you're embarking on. It keeps you on your feet, because the Bible says you will run with it. So it keeps you on your feet because you are seeing it every time. You keep remembering yourself, why I need to do this, why I need to do this. So that keeps you on your feet, and you want to do it and get it over with. Another way to overcome procrastination is to take responsibility for our actions. Is to stop blaming people for our actions, stop blaming people for the decisions that we take. Stop giving excuses of people, stop giving excuses, because by the time we continue to give excuses, we'll be delaying our destiny. So we need to take responsibility for our own actions and stop blaming people. Somebody will say it's because my mom didn't send me to school, so I'll just be like this. Somebody will say because the government is not doing fine, because the government is not doing well, politicians are not treating us fine. So you tend to give excuse. You give excuse for everything. Now you need to stop giving excuse and take responsibility for your own actions so that you can move forward. Also, breaking down a task or a project into stages can help us in actually following it through, because especially when the project or the task is daunting, it's a difficult one. Breaking it down in stages can help us to achieve it. When we break it down in stages and we take it step by step, especially starting with the simplest one, it can also help us too. And after breaking down the task into stages, we need to just start. Just decide that, discipline yourself and decide to start. When you start, don't think of the outcome, don't think if it's going to be perfect or it's going to be accepted. Just start. It is after starting that you get to improve yourself, that you get to do better. And by the time you are getting better, it gives you momentum to want to do more. It gives you momentum or motivation to want to do more. So just start from the simplest stage, and you see how far you can go. Also, you can make a boring task fun. For example, after I procrastinated so much about starting body and physical exercise, I decided to make it a challenge. So I started the treadmill challenge with my son. So we challenge ourselves, sometimes 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And that's how I started, and now I'm doing better. When we want to teach children and memorizing the Bible, it's boring and tedious for them. But by the time we turn it into Bible games, they are eager. They are eager to want to do it. So many times they even look forward to it, because now it's fun, and it challenges them and it makes them active. It's no longer boring. So they look forward to doing it. So studying in a group also makes reading fun. Studying in a group makes it active. You start a group discussion, you ask questions, you discuss about the class. So it makes it fun. So studying in a group helps students who procrastinate on studying and improving their grades. Because by the time you study in a group, the things you discuss, the questions you ask, they stay with you. You don't forget them easily, and it encourages you to learn more. So studying in the group is also fun. It's also fun, especially for the students who find it difficult to read. Also, discussing your dream or your vision or discussing your dream or your vision with a cheerleader, with somebody who will encourage you, somebody who will make you stand on your feet, somebody who cheers you, somebody who pushes you into achieving your goal, somebody who pushes you into doing things you intend doing. So when you discuss it with a cheerleader, maybe your spouse, might even be a friend, a colleague, even parents, maybe your folks, if you discuss it with them, especially if you know that they cheer you, if you know that they encourage you, you discuss with them, they cheer you and they push you into doing it. So you can discuss with a cheerleader. I remember in the book of Numbers, Numbers 13, when the 12 spies were sent to the promised land to go and spy the land, the 12 of them came back. 10 of them discouraged Moses. But Joshua and Caleb encouraged him, said, no, let's go ahead. Let's stand up and go ahead. We can do it. We can do it. So that encouraged Moses. He pushed them to... That encouraged Moses, and he like, okay, so some people actually believe that we can do this. They said, no, the land, they said good things about the land. The land is full of milk and honey. There are grapes, there's this, there is that. We can do it. Those people, we have a God that can give us power to overcome those people out on the road. And so that encouragement, lifted up the spirit of Moses. 2 Chronicles 32. Verse 6 to verse 8. The people of Jerusalem had no will to fight. They already surrendered to the enemy. They already surrendered that they already believed that the king of Syria is going to finish them all and take them to captivity. But King Hezekiah said, no, we can do it. We said, no, we can do it. We can fight these people and win because we have a God that is Jehovah. Because we have a God who is a man of war. There are people who will encourage you and push you into your destiny. There are people who will encourage you. I like discussing projects with my husband, especially when it has to do with finance, because my husband will make you look at a project of 1 million naira like 10,000 naira. The way we talk about it, you think he has billions in his account. It will make it look as if it's something small, something like it's something very small, something that is not difficult. So you will want to do it because the way it will push you, and it will keep reminding me. But you said you told me you want to do this. By the time he reminds me, I just want to do it and get it over with, even if it's for him to stop disturbing me. So there are people who will encourage you and push you in destiny. So people like that, you need to realize them and know them. You need to know those people are. People like that, you need to recognize them around you because they help you in achieving your aims. They help you to find fulfillment. Also, physical exercise helps a lot because physical exercise makes us lighter in weight. So physical exercise keeps us on our toes. Physical exercise makes us fit. Especially for the lazy ones, physical exercise makes us fit and it makes us lighter. It makes us willing to do more. It makes us willing to work. The last one I'm going to talk about is tracking your progress and celebrating wins. When you start a project, celebrate your wins. Encourage yourself with your wins. Celebrate your successes. You feel happy. That motivates you. I hope that this has helped you. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment for me in the comment section. And please don't forget to share and subscribe to this channel. And click on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you for staying with me. God bless you. Bye.